All right, now let's move on to our other images. So in our mockup, we have 3 other images. This background image right here. If we scroll down, we have these 2 images right here. So let's tackle this background image first. Now, one thing that's kind of nice about blurry backgrounds is that they don't have to have the same resolution or integrity as images that need crisp edges. So we can get away with saving them with less quality and using lower resolutions even if we're on a high resolution screen. Now we have to read between the lines a little bit with this design. This background image stretches all the way across the page, which says to me that it's probably going to continue to stretch if we make the site even bigger, and then it will probably shrink down as the site gets smaller. If that's not the case, then the designer didn't let us know what's supposed to happen on the edge if this image actually ends. It won't look very good if it's just this missing edge on the side. So I'm going to guess the intention is to stretch and contract. So given that, let's create the biggest version of this image that we can in order to support those people that are just really stretching out this website. So I'm going to go to this image here, and it looks like we have some layering going on here. Now I'm going to open this in a separate window, and I'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we have a nice big image here, but we need to add this layer right here on top of it, which will darken it. So I'm going to right click on this and select duplicate layer. And let's select the big stock blurred lights, okay? And I'll go back over to that page, and then I'm gonna stretch this dark all the way across. Now, as a front-end developer, this isn't always something that you would need to do, and I could have done this on the side, but I figured maybe you wanna look over my shoulder while I get this figured out. Okay, so here's the biggest version of the image. I'm gonna save for web. Now before with our logo, we used a PNG or PNG file. Those work really good with things like illustrations that have basic colors and large groups of colors. And it's also something that we need to use if we want an alpha layer or some kind of transparency. With this, we don't need the alpha layer, and a JPEG will compress it a lot more than a PNG would. Okay, so let's scroll around and see how the quality looks here. So down here, we're looking at what the JPEG is gonna look like. And it's at about 800 kilobytes, which is pretty big. So I'm gonna drop down the quality until I start to see some big problems with the image down here. Now because it's blurry, it can hide a lot of those weird little artifacts that happen when you drop the quality. I'm gonna drop the quality even more here. Okay, I'm starting to see some weirdness. So I'm gonna bump it back up again. Bump it back up just a little bit more. Okay, this seems about where we need to be. Now it's still a big image, but this is the biggest that it's going to be. From here, we're going to create smaller versions of it for different browser sizes. So let's save this, and we'll call this slideshow BG for background. Now let's change the image size, and we'll drop it down to 3000 pixels. Let's save this. We'll leave the quality as is, and we'll save this as slideshow BG 3000. I like the sound of that. Let's make a couple other versions here. Let's do 2000, save this. And we'll also do 1000, and we'll save this. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the browser,